Laney.
Dude, that's hype.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. That's it.
Yep.
All right, welcome back to Processing, Episode 7. I'm Steven.
Max.
Jack.
Mallory.
Laney.
Yay!
What was that last
Laney.
name?
Welcome to our... Is this our first guest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to our first guest. She's technically not really a guest because she's a part of the family, but we have Laney Cook on the show today.
Woo!
And
Seems
Laney.
fired up about it.
Love Laney.
Laney,
Laney-
give like an intro to yourself.
How old are you? Where are you from? What you about?
You, Max.
Dude, she's about you. I just hit my face with the mic. That's going to sound bad.
Okay.
I'm Laney. I'm 19. I'm going to Auburn. I'm from Savannah.
And Laney, what's your social security number just for the
Yeah.
listeners?
And bank statements. Need them all.
675.
Okay, 675.
Max, can I ask you to do your best to not
Touch the
move
table.
that table?
Sorry, that's
Just
on me.
'cause that camera will move.
I'm sorry. Will not happen again.
No worries.
So, Laney's on the show with us today. Excuse me, sorry.
It's all right.
Laney's on Processing with us today because she's out here with the rest of the family visiting us, and we're currently set up, obviously not in our normal habitat.
Really?
We're what is this called? A VR breathe.
VRBO.
We're at the
I'm
VRBO.
curious as to why you've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I've only heard of Airbnb.
Wait, for the audio listeners only, give them a little rundown on where we are.
Oh yeah, so we are outside in the backyard of the VRBO. They have like a poolside cabana thing that's like got a couple benches and some chairs and stuff for sitting, and it overlooks the hills, or actually it's in the hills and overlooks the city of Los Angeles. So it's very
The
nice.
backside. The
So
studio,
pretty.
Studio City side.
Yeah, it's very nice. The sun's going down. It's cool. There's a light breeze. It's great.
You could go look at it on YouTube if you're curious as to what it looks like.
Yeah. Go tune into YouTube
Yeah.
and dislike all of Jack's videos.
Yes.
Shoot.
Got some hate comments today.
What do you think about that?
Comments. More than
One, just
Well,
one
he said-
comment.
He said 2 comments, but I guess only one was hate.
What was the other one?
I can't remember what the other
Yeah,
comment
but I
was.
was like, love the word. Keep
Yeah,
it
yeah.
up.
yeah. I hate this vlog, but love you.
What? He said, can literally hurt yourself if you use it in the wrong spot. LOL, it's that strong. I guess he has one.
Well, wait. Give it some. What did he say first?
So I make YouTube videos if anyone doesn't know.
God.
And I have a vlog that is titled $350 Hypervolt massage gun because we got one, and so I did like a very brief unboxing of it in my video. If you want to go check it out on my channel, you can. But somebody commented on it and said 5% hypervolt, 95% random vlog nobody cares about.
That's the biggest facts I've ever heard.
You gotta love those comments.
I love that.
But it won't show up in my comment section, so I can't respond to them.
Probably because there's no Wi-Fi out here.
If you think about it, the rest of the vlog is just different individuals splashing the GoPro.
True.
I
But
love it though.
I just want to respond and say, frick, I agree.
Yeah. I want to say, dude, maybe 3%
Yeah.
of others of the
Yeah, yeah.
hypervolt. God,
Get your math right, idiot.
I'm so annoying by everything.
What?
I don't know. Something in that water
What water?
that I'm drinking here.
Lainey, how have you liked LA so far?
I really like it. I've always liked it. I could move here.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Here
no
and where
questions.
else?
Hawaii.
Let's go.
Only 2 places I ever want to live.
Poke
That's a,
bowls
uh,
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Pretty much.
Frick.
All
That's-
day, every day.
That's a good segue into my first question I have.
Already?
Dude, let's hit it. I'm ready.
It's not that deep, actually.
Okay.
But it's just one to get us started. It's a brain teaser.
Love that, Jack.
Just kidding, not
What?
really. What is something that you don't like about LA?
That I don't like?
Yeah.
The gas prices.
Okay. That's fair. Gas prices are very high.
Jack will
Is-
determine if your answer is fair or not.
Well,
So good luck,
Great.
Steven. You're not.
Try to beat the umpire.
well, I'm trying to think of like something like geologically that you don't like about it, or like something that home has that here doesn't have.
I would say the one thing that I very much miss is the fact that at home in Savannah, we have the opportunity to go get on a boat and like pedal around the river. Like
Yeah.
anywhere we want. We can go to the beach on the boat. We can go anywhere on a boat. We can't really do that in the Pacific Ocean
Yeah.
very much.
I agree with that.
I think it'd still be fun if we got a boat here, though.
Yeah, definitely. We could us as a group can make it fun, but I'm just saying as far as like something that I miss, that's what I miss. Like
I
I
agree.
always miss the water when I'm not at home. Like,
Yeah.
I love the water there. If the water was a little bit cleaner or bluer, I should say, in Savannah, I'd never leave, is my thing. So that's probably what I miss the most, or I guess don't like about LA necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Lainey, you
I
got
get really
anything?
stressed out driving, and so the driving really stresses me out and gets me.
That's fair.
going.
I'll allow it.
The traffic.
It's not all like traffic, but like it's just really stressful. I feel like people are just like crazy.
Oh yeah, people do. Mallory, back me up on this. People honk for no apparent reason.
Oh yeah.
They honk
Oh,
to prove
people
they
are
have a
so
horn.
mad. For my job, I actually only drive around all day, and it gets me mad. Actually, it makes me laugh. Now.
Yeah, you can't really do anything but laugh at it. It's just
Because like I'm my own number one fan, so like whenever someone honks at me, like I make a comment out loud, like to just myself, and then I'm like,
What is
You're
that
so
comment
funny.
usually? Like
I can't even
95%
think.
like stuff you don't care about, 5% hypervolt? Like
Yeah.
that type of comment?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm into
love
that.
those comments.
What about you, Jack? Come here.
Everyone just skips me every time we do.
Oh,
questions.
shoot.
Oh, I thought you just
You-
said.
No,
oh,
what about you,
yeah.
Jack?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mallory.
Yeah,
Sherry.
what about you, Jack?
Sorry, you were just talking, so I think that they didn't mean to skip over you, but I think it was just an accident, Mallory.
Oh God, please no
I
PDA
apologize
on the
their
podcast.
on their behalf.
Thanks, Jack.
What's something you don't like, Mallory?
I don't know. I pretty much like everything.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't grow up like on the river, some exclusive thing that you guys have. So I love being at the beach here.
Super exclusive.
And the traffic in Atlanta is really bad, so the traffic here doesn't really bother me. I mean, like, if a really terrible earthquake happened and my house collapsed, I would probably not like that much. Like, I don't have that in Atlanta. But so far, the earthquakes have just been, like, kind of fun in a way.
There's been 2 earthquakes here in the past week.
Dude, there's been 150.
Well, 2 like
That
you
we
could
felt.
yeah.
Feel.
Wait,
Distinct.
actually 150?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
In
are
LA.
like the tensors. They're called.
It was the most wild thing I've ever experienced.
It's so weird.
It was a 6.4, and then originally the one yesterday was a 7.1, but they changed it to 6.9.
Yes.
And there's a 3% chance that one higher than that happens again, and a 27% chance that one at that rate or lower happens again this week.
They're definitely crazy. All right, but Jack, what do you not like about it?
I was gonna say the same thing you said about the water. The only other thing is that it's just far away from our families.
True.
So
That's
it's like, I mean, our families can come visit us, but like for my mom's parents, like Poppy's never getting on a plane.
you're never.
You know,
Yeah.
so
ever.
he's
No.
not like gonna come out here. So we would be able to go visit him, but it would be nice if family was a little bit closer. That was it.
Yeah.
My dad's never coming out here.
Oh,
I'll tell you that.
way.
Johnny Long's not going across the Mississippi.
Yeah, kid won't make it past the Mississippi River, and that's facts.
Wait, we should tell a little bit more about the earthquakes though, because we were kind of
Yeah,
like,
we
had
can
a
go
cool
back to it. I just wanted
experience.
to let you have your moment in that conversation.
Thanks, Steven.
Yeah. I'm all about equal pay.
Go ahead,
Um,
bring us into the earthquake situation.
So, like I said, there's been 2 earthquakes that we felt in the past week. Actually, there's one yesterday, last night, and then one a day before that. For those of you who don't know, a little geography, love that. The reason there's earthquakes
Just
out
gonna
here is
tune out of
because
this
we're
podcast.
on the San Andreas fault line.
Skip ahead.
Which is a divergent boundary. This is tectonic plates terms. Divergent boundary, which is the tectonic plates are pulling apart from one another.
Sorry. Jack, I'm sorry.
Max wants to knock my camera over.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. The table just had a little earthquake.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Steven.
So
Tell us about those tectonics.
The tectonic plates at a divergent boundary pull apart from one another, which creates what we call an earthquake. So they're definitely weird to feel. The first one happened. We were in our Airbnb, and it was me, Mallory, Jack, and Max, and me, Mallory, and Max felt it, and we were like, what the heck was that? And Jack was walking from the kitchen to the living room, and he's like, what are you guys talking about? He didn't feel it
I had
at all.
no clue.
And then the one happened at dinner last night. Everyone in the restaurant could feel it. It was more powerful than the first one. But it feels weird. It feels more weird to me when you're in a house, but like especially the second story of a house, and you feel it because it feels like your house is flimsy, like a flimsy piece of wood whipping around. And I didn't like that.
The one at the restaurant made me just feel like we were kind of on a boat, like we were rocking
Yeah.
back and forth on a boat.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting from like everyone in their like own conversations, just like having a normal day, and then it just starts shaking, and everyone is like looking at each other.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone's kind of connected.
Yeah.
At that point.
Like you have one thing that is universal in that instant, and then afterwards, like everyone was like laughing and looking at each other.
Yeah.
It was like,
And everyone was like talking about like what the numbers is, and
Yeah.
like the waiters.
No, I saw a
waitresses.
tweet today of some girl. I guess she lives here because like Mindy Kaling replied to it, so I just like saw the original tweet because it was just some random girl. But she was like, "I've been out of town." Like I think she lives in LA. She was like, "I've been out of town all weekend, missed both the earthquakes, and I feel like all of LA bonded on them. I hope Big Little Lies is good tonight, so I have something to talk about at work." It was funny because like literally everyone in the whole LA like shared it.
it's so crazy.
From where it happened south of us in Bakersfield. I wonder how far north of us people could feel it. You think it like pretty much? Well, I guess the tensors. You said there's like hundreds of them that have happened.
Yeah, I'll give you the exact number right now.
But I wonder like how many people north of here felt something.
3 or 4 probably.
Yeah,
3 or 4 people.
3 people.
You know them all.
Yeah.
They're all
Talk
named
to 'em.
Tim.
John, Jill, and
Tim.
Billy.
Tim. They're all named Tim.
Oh, they're all Tim.
You're thinking of something else.
The 3 Tims.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 Tims in a pod.
Yeah.
Lainey, did when you told Reed about it, when he lived out here, did he feel like were there a couple that he felt?
Yeah, he said he felt one, and at first I didn't believe that the first one happened because I saw it on one of Reed's friends' Instagram stories. I was like, "Yo, did you guys feel the earthquake?" And I was like, "I don't think it happened." And then I asked Reed, and he was like, "Yeah, it's on everyone's like stories and stuff in California." When I was there, I only experienced one, maybe, and
That's
he was
what
like,
he
"It's just
said?
like the weirdest thing. It's like scary."
Yeah.
But like not, it's just super weird because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then when we experienced it, I was like, this sounds terrible to say, but it was like the coolest thing.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
It's
It
cool,
was
but it's
cool.
terrible because I feel really bad for like
Yeah.
everything that got destroyed. Like, did you guys see that liquor store?
Yes.
It was like flooded
Yeah.
with liquor.
The stuff like fell.
From the one that happened yesterday?
Yeah.
In LA?
No, I don't think it was in LA.
It was
But
Oh, it was
by
like
the
right
video
where it
that
hit.
happened.
just today there was 686
Wow.
Dad felt one at 3 a.m.
at 2.5 magnitude and more, and just today 686 in
So
like this area in California.
You said those are tensors.
I
You
think.
called them.
I think they're called tensors.
Let's see.
Is
So
that the
is
aftershock?
Is that like as an effect of the big one that happened last night?
Yeah, it's kind of like aftershock. It's like the tensor aftershock's kind of like a ripple effect, to my knowledge. Like if you can imagine a ripple effect,
Uh-huh.
that's what I think the aftershock is. But the tensors are other miniature earthquakes that spawn because of the large one.
Okay. Little spawn quakes.
Yeah,
The weirdest
spawn
thing
quakes.
about them, I think, and I saw this on Jeffree Star's story. I know you guys are going to laugh like Jeffree Star, but like he had a really good point. It's like the weirdest feeling. Like 2 have happened, and earthquakes are like natural disasters, so they like are not a great thing. And it's weird that like 2 have happened, and everyone's like a little bit rattled about them. But like here, like in LA at least, like I know other places, I'm sure there's been some things that have happened. So like prayers for that. But like in LA, nothing has really happened. And so like it's like a really eerie feeling that like another one could come, but you can't really prepare for it. And like 2 have already happened, and it's just like a weird in between space. Do you know what I mean?
Not called tensor.
Oh, they're not?
Yeah, just called trimmers.
Tremors?
Yeah.
That's what the guy on the first video that we were watching called them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
tremors, and then you have a foreshock, which is like the biggest one. So the first one that was 6 point whatever was a foreshock until the 7.1 came. So now that is a foreshock. If there's any bigger, then that will be the next foreshock.
Gotcha.
But yeah, just
Had
a tremor.
nothing to say about Jeffree Star.
Well, no, it wasn't
No.
about Jeffree Star. It was just about I was just giving a shout out to Jeffree Star, so he wouldn't get mad that I like stole his thought process.
I
since
agree
he
with you,
listens to this.
with you though, Mallory. It's like for stuff like hurricanes or tornadoes or like tropical storms, like severe thunderstorms, like you can like kind of foreshadow when they're gonna come because of the weather service and stuff and like how they've like determined whatever. But for the earthquakes, it's like they can guess when something like that might happen, but for plate tectonics there's no real way to like measure when there's going to potentially be one. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Can you define a fault line?
Huh?
Can you define a fault line?
Can I?
Yeah,
Like what it is?
Like explain to me what it is.
So, like I said, in plate tectonics, there's convergent boundaries, divergent boundaries, and submersion boundaries, and it just I don't know exactly why, but because of where in like the continent or the Earth, I guess they're all over the Earth. Where in the Earth, they just happen to be. So there's a lot of divergent plate boundaries on the West Coast. On the East Coast, there's convergent, where they're coming together.
So the fault line is a divergent boundary?
The San Andreas fault line is a divergent boundary.
Okay.
But like,
that's all I wanted.
oh, okay,
I just didn't know like what it was defined as.
yeah,
Gotcha.
like on the East Coast and in the Atlantic Ocean, like right off of us where we live, there's a convergent boundary that's huge. It's called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge.
Okay.
So it just depends on like where they are. I don't really know the super science behind it, but definitely learned about it in geography last semester. Love that class. All right, Max, you want to hit us with that first trivia question?
Yeah, so I'm going to explain why this trivia question popped into my mind. I think last week, maybe, we went to Disneyland with Mallory's fam. Shout out to the Mallory's fam and Bubba.
The
You think-
Mallory's fam.
Do-
Mallory
Do you
fan.
think that he listens to this, Bubba?
Bubba?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he could never listen to a podcast if
All right.
his life depended on it.
Well, you know what? Maybe just send him this part. But we had a blast there. Space Mountain and Buzz Lightyear, the GOAT. My first trivia question is, when was the first roller coaster in America opened? The year.
I don't even have like a ballpark
know.
as to like when theme parks were a thing.
19
Sorry, go ahead. It is my fault.
That's awkward.
1953.
Dang, 1956. I was going with the 50s. Let's rock it.
1947.
Oh, I was shooting kind of high.
Good stars, Lanny.
1972.
1884.
What?
I
How?
almost went for the 18s.
That was a cart with a goat pulling
That's
it.
insane. In New York, in Brooklyn.
So is it mechanical?
You can look at it. Oh shoot. Okay. Well, then that also Russian. There's also Russian ice slides, so that can be like
Well, you said in the United States.
right, and it's like Russian ice slides is like they get to the top and then they like slide on like little glacier things. So I don't know if that really is a thing, but yeah, 1884, Brooklyn on Coney Island. It
What
looks-
was the roller coaster called?
Let's see.
The Terminator.
The Coney Island hot dog ride.
Dude, I can't even find the name.
Trivia.
Known as a switchback railway. It doesn't. I don't think it has a name.
Crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. 1884. How safe do you think that sucker was?
I wouldn't go on it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Steven would.
No, I don't go on the ones today.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
God.
So we go to Disneyland with Mallory's family, as we already said.
Mallory's team.
Stephen
Get this.
Stephen does not ride one ride while we're there because he's scared of all the roller coasters. We finally find him a ride that he wants to go on, or he doesn't really want to go on it, but we made him go on it. It's the Alice in Wonderland ride. So you get in what is like a ladybug or something cart.
It's like a little bug from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay, a little Wonderland bug.
Not a ladybug.
And you go through like a tunnel filled with like scenes from Alice in Wonderland.
Or I think it's a caterpillar.
Yeah.
it was
Green caterpillar. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. A caterpillar. And
Green.
we get out we get into the roller coaster and Steven's worried about it being locked or not. He's like, I just want to make sure it's locked.
Not a roller coaster.
Yeah, it is
It's
basically
a switchback railroad.
yeah, you could-
actually, if
you
that's
could
what
walk-
one was gonna be.
you could walk faster. Then we get out to the other side and he's like, yeah, I just don't like those. So Steven wasn't like super into the theme parks.
But then we tried Buzz Lightyear, and Steven was all over that.
Oh yeah, true.
I like
'cause it was
Buzz
a
Lightyear
game.
because you.
Yeah, I had that too.
I like Buzz Lightyear because you get to shoot the laser pointer guns and it's like a competition. That's fun. But I just don't. I've never liked the entire idea of roller coasters. It's not like one thing. It's not like the speed or the drops or whatever. I just don't like really the parks.
The whole thing.
Yeah, just the whole thing. And I felt bad because Mallory's dad got me like a pass or whatever it is. But I don't know. I don't like them. Sorry, guys.
I'm just
The
mad
pass
about
was
it.
only $15 more, I think. So like whatever.
He was all about those fast
But you
passes,
could have
though.
waited in the car, I guess.
Oh man.
Let's talk about our time management there. We would actually be in line. Mallory's dad was on the app getting a fast pass for another line so that as soon as we got off that ride, we could scurry on down to the next ride and we would not lose a minute. We were sitting down for lunch and he was contemplating going on a ride while the food was being prepared so that we wouldn't waste time sitting there waiting on the food.
I love
He
that.
Loves it. Loves it.
He
But you have to
loves
go with
amusement
those type of
parks.
people because
Yeah.
if you're doing the amble walk around, you're gonna be there all day.
And we would have read 3 things probably.
Right. You
With
have
him,
to have.
We had the whole park done in half a day.
It was
And
easy.
then we were skirting back around the second half and just doubling up.
Yeah.
Lainey, do you like amusement parks? When's the last time you've been to an amusement park?
Grad Bash.
Oh yeah, where's that? Orlando?
Yeah, you take a bus.
What
Yeah.
Did you do the thing where you go until like
3
2 a.m., 3 a.m., and
yes.
then you ride the bus all the way back to Savannah?
Yes, it
It
was
is
the
so
worst.
not fun.
Yeah.
My
I was
school, for senior year, we go to Orlando too, but we go for 3 days.
See, that might be fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
3 whole days there. That's a long
the
time.
hotel at night, rowdy.
At my school,
That's lit.
at BC, they banned us from doing that trip
I'm not surprised.
because they were scared. Well, I think that they used to do it, and kids would come drunk and like be obnoxious.
Yeah,
in
they
the park.
checked our bags.
So they just outlawed any of our students from going.
No, they went with us.
I think that they just like your grade senior year was the first time they let them do it since like whatever happened.
Watson was like one of the 4 guys that came.
Yeah. I would not go to that.
We saw Kodak Black in ours in the
Oh,
line to the
yeah.
Harry Potter thing.
And Britton
Ford yeah,
was like,
Britton was like,
Kodak.
"That's Kodak." I was
Mhm.
like, "I have no idea who that is."
Yeah.
Was he there because he graduated too?
He just got out of jail, I think.
Oh, we didn't know who he was then.
But isn't that night like only for high school graduates?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I
He might have
think it
just been
is.
messing around.
Max and I were not super into that whole thing.
No, I just know on the way back, I got that alley, like in the bus, the middle lane,
Yeah.
and just 2 book bags laid down. That was so nice.
Cashed.
Yeah,
And then I got the 2 seats because he laid in the middle on the alley.
it was so hype. Gum in your hair when you wake up. You're stuck to the
love-
ground.
You go to the bathroom
Orlando
and kids
trip.
lock the
I feel
door.
like you.
They
I can
hold the door shut.
I can totally see you loving the hotel thing. Like
I
everyone.
roomed with Maddie,
everyone
Brittany,
has-
and Brenna. We had the best time. It was mixed boy and girl buses, so that was so fun.
No way.
Because all the other trips are 2 girl buses and 2 boy buses, but senior year you get to have boy and girl buses,
Thank God.
and it's
Talk
fun.
about drama.
No drama, just fun.
There's no way. There's no drama.
No, No. By senior year, no, I didn't have any drama.
Okay.
I'm sure other people did. For me, I was kicking it.
I can see you running in and out of everyone's hotel room, wanting to mingle with every person like you just took speed or something.
Speed.
But we had a bed. You had to be in your room by like 10 o'clock, and they put duct tape on the door. So if you went in or out after that, they know.
How do
They
they
were
know?
not freaking around with that.
Because the duct tape would be broken.
You just.
It's just like a little piece.
It's like sorry, not duct tape. Like that thin, like cream piece of tape. It's like paper kind of. So when you open it's like a thin cream piece of tape. So when you open it, it just goes down the middle.
Huh. And they would come back and check it?
Yeah, like in the morning they would come by and take the tape off so we could leave the room. And if yours was broken, you're getting sent home.
What if
and
you just bought
suspended.
your own tape and like?
Yeah,
replaced
yeah.
it?
You could have outsmarted them.
You can go under my shorts, but the toes under my feet.
Fine,
you're, like,
fine,
moving
fine,
them
fine.
around, just kind of pinching my skin.
Fine, whatever.
Jacking
No,
off the
there's
table.
no
Sorry.
way.
Sorry.
No, because you can't put new tape on if you go back in the room.
You, gotta
You have
be
to close
on
the door
outside.
behind you.
Dang, they really. Well, you can just like. All right, I don't want to get into it. I don't
No,
wanna give away
there's
any
no way.
secrets.
You
There's
can-
no way.
You can pull a hey you
Yeah.
and be like,
No,
hey,
not a hey you. I got a guy there.
No, if you sneak out.
You got a guy.
Yeah, you get the concierge to come.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
room
You're like, yo.
service. Yeah, and hey, on the way out, just put this tape there. They're like,
Mhm.
all right.
Just jump out the window.
No, because all the hotel people who work there, like we rent out like the whole hotel basically. So like, they're told, like if they're gonna
Come
get in
on,
trouble if they
$5.
do
I
that.
don't know how- I
$5.
don't know how told they would be after that. Yeah, man, and on your way out, tape. Yeah.
But it's like everyone else is taped in their room, so who are you gonna go hang out with if you break your tape? Look, I was just a good kid, okay?
Yeah, you were.
We love a good kid.
How about we leave L.A.?
No, that's a terrible thing to get into.
Jack loves the LA topics. Like,
What?
do you not like about it?
No,
We're
not like
leaving.
coming up. Not
I know
coming
you're
up.
about to say. And he forgot he had dying on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven goes to security at the airport
Oh God!
and forgot that he packed a nightstick.
Wait, you did not give them enough context.
You
Jack
just said
is
we
referring.
leave LA.
Yeah, I
Jack's
was
re-
going into it, and then you interrupted me right then. I was about to fill it all in.
Don't you hate when people do that?
Jack, go ahead and fill us all in.
Yeah,
just going
give us
slow.
the rundown,
Going
Jack.
low and slow.
We'll let Jack take this one.
So we were leaving LA a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
to go to Atlanta for the Emmy Awards a couple podcasts ago. And we get to the LAX airport on our way to Atlanta. And we go through security, and Steven is rummaging through his backpack and realizes that he left his nightstick in his backpack and was about to walk through security holding a nightstick.
So my dad, when we were on the way out here, gives me, like, for those of you who don't know what a nightstick is, I guess like the more formal way to talk about it is like a police baton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a police baton, but it's not like the
A big
long
metal
one.
rod that
It's
you
like-
use to wreck people.
Yeah, it's like a retractable one. It's for self-defense for sure. Like you can wear it on your hip and then you like sling it out, and it comes
like
out.
a
and it's,
lightsaber.
Yes.
yeah, it's like a lightsaber,
Yes.
and it is definitely considered a lethal weapon. And I had it in my book bag, which was gonna be my carry-on. And we weren't about to go through security, but we were at the check bag station outside, like where we got dropped off at our Uber, and we were checking one of our bags. And I was like, let me just look through my book bag and make sure everything's good. And I'm looking through it, and the nightstick's at the very bottom of my book bag. I'm like, oh my God. If I had gone through security with that, I would have been tackled, and we definitely would not have been on the plane.
He would have been detained.
Well,
No,
we
you have
would
to
have
be
been on the plane.
detained for at least 24 hours.
We would have been on
I
the plane.
think.
You would have been getting a little pat down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would be in that naked room,
Yeah.
hanging out
Doing
with other
weird-
naked guys.
doing
With a
weird
fire
stuff.
hose.
So I like took it out of my book bag and just put it in the check bag.
What do you mean?
So if you guys
You know what I
don't,
mean.
I don't.
if you don't know the degree of lethalness this nightstick has, please check out Jack's video of us brutally annihilating a watermelon.
Wait, you didn't give him enough
Oh,
context.
yeah.
So Jack makes YouTube videos.
Oh,
if
Oh
you guys
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah. With a
Jack's
All right,
camera.
now
YouTube.
keep going, Max.
We already went into that.
Oh.
Oh, that was the nightstick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like 2, 10, 20 seconds at the end of a video.
What was the title
What'd
of
you
that video?
think? What was going through your mind when it went from like completely normal day, like you're editing a video, right?
Mhm.
And then it just jumps to that. What were you thinking?
Well, I was like, live Fruit Ninja.
Probably like
That's what I said.
probably like 5% nightstick,
Yeah.
95% something no one cares about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that was fun. And then we ate it. That was the best watermelon I've ever had.
The only part about that Fruit Ninja experience I didn't like is I broke the nightstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of bent it
You
a
had it
little
coming,
bit.
though.
My dad is going to be so disappointed.
It's all right.
Just
he
tell
gonna
him you
listen-
fought off a thief with it.
A thief.
The kid watches the videos. He's going to see us brutally annihilating that watermelon.
But he doesn't know it broke after that.
I say it in the video.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh.
it's broken.
I don't think you do, actually.
Well, now he knows. So something that I think is pretty interesting that Lainey is on the podcast and is our first guest because she was the first person that put the idea of a podcast in all of our minds. She brought it into existence, I think, in terms of us creating one. So we were at a restaurant called Fox and Fig in Savannah, winter break, after I came home from Australia. First time I saw Lainey since I've been in Australia, and she was talking about someone's podcast. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was David's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't know, there's something about like podcasts that I love when I'm like driving and I can just like get sucked into like ideas and it's like almost like you're in a room with someone. And I was like, and you're just listening on a conversation. I was like, that's so cool. You should definitely start one. And you're like, okay, like maybe I want to do like a surfer, like have surfers come in, skimboarders, like anything like that. And it was just like, that's really, really cool. I like that a lot. You should definitely start it. And it was like that conversation that I think like we had with you that like put it in the back of our minds.
Yeah.
And then Steven was like, all right, we should do an Unframed podcast. Like you didn't distinctly say like, all right, I'm starting a channel called this, or you guys should start a channel
Right.
distinctly called this. But it was like, we want to start a podcast because I think out of like all the people I know, you probably listen to the most podcasts like equivalently with Jack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I'm in the car so often too, and so like listening to podcasts on a long drive is so much easier than listening to music because it makes time go by so much faster.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll agree with that.
so much faster.
Yeah. And you just like funny podcasts, or do you like in-depth podcasts, or whatever's like kind of on that you like?
Funny, and then like cool people, and then I did like the My Favorite Murder podcast, but then it started really scaring me and I couldn't
Really?
listen to it anymore.
Every time I would go like on, because we share Spotify, and so like every time I go on Spotify and it was like this past spring, every time I would go on it and she would be listening to it, I would just because I can see what she's listening to, it would always be the murder podcast.
Yeah, I started listening to it. I was like, wow, Jack's gonna see this and be like, what's wrong with my sister?
You would listen to like 6 different ones before you found like that was your favorite one.
Yeah.
You were like, there were so many like Murder Unsolved or like all these like different podcasts she was listening to about murders. And I was like, hey, you all right?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, they're like really cool and interesting, but I think I started listening to the murder podcast after I watched the 5-part series of the Ted Bundy thing. Because it was so weird. Your phone listens to you. So like I was talking about Ted Bundy, and then a podcast of like a murder podcast, like an episode about Ted Bundy just like popped up on like Spotify for some odd reason for me. I was like, this is so creepy, but like I listened to it, and then My Favorite Murder podcast is like one of the top podcasts. Like
People love murder
Ever?
podcasts.
they're
Mhm.
so
All my
interesting.
friends who
and
listen to
stuff.
podcasts, it's like they listen to murder ones.
And those murder shows. People
Well, it's
love
really
those.
interesting, but then like it gets to the point where it would really scare me because I'd be like driving home and mom and dad weren't home for the weekend, and it would
And
be
it's
like,
nighttime, and you're about to go home
Yeah.
and sleep by yourself.
yeah, and like this I don't even want to tell the story. It's so terrifying, but like it just got me like I couldn't sleep sometimes. I was so freaked
Yeah,
out,
I'm not
and
into
so
that
I just
stuff.
couldn't do
Yeah.
it anymore. But like the funny ones are the good ones now.
Murder stories are like so enticing to people because like as soon as it's set up that there's a murder, you immediately want to know why, and you want to
Right.
know like there's
Right.
something human about like wanting to know the answer to that. So like all like the NCIS and CSI, like the murder podcast, all that stuff, like the reason that people like them so much is because you just want the answer as soon as the show starts. because they have the murder right at the very beginning every single time, and as soon as it starts and they give you a little taste of like what it was, you want to know everything about it.
And your
for some
brain,
reason.
Yeah.
your brain, once you know that there's like a problem, your brain automatically starts like figuring out the solution itself.
Yes.
And you want to see if you're right by the end.
Yeah.
And the fact that every episode ends when it does figure it out, it's like really satisfying to watch an episode or like listen to something where like you start with a problem and you figure out like all the way through.
Yeah.
So there's something just like really exciting about murder stories, which is weird because you would think it would not, that wouldn't be exciting or interesting
Right.
to hear about murders all the time.
Yeah, I think the first time that what you just explained perfectly is when 8th grade in Mr. Knight's class when we were reading Romeo and Juliet. It's like you know that they die at the end, but you want to see the whole entire story.
Yeah.
That you want to see the process, like how do you get to this extreme? Because
Yeah.
like it's like a pretty extreme out of the ordinary daily activity, like murder. It's like crazy, and it's like when it happens, you're like, okay, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's like so
Romeo
interesting.
and Juliet weren't murdered.
But they died. You know that they died, and it's like, how did this happen? Like, why did these two lovers die? Like, what did this to that? Like, how did they get to this point?
And that's the same exact reason why I started watching Casey Neistat, because I saw the first video I saw of him was Phantom 4 Drone Greatest Feature.
I remember that.
The first video I ever saw, it just randomly popped up on my feed. I watched it and I was like, I kind of like this guy. So I went to his channel. I never watched any YouTubers up to this point. Didn't even know like being a YouTuber was a thing. And so I went to his channel and he had one of like there's like a trailer if you're not subscribed, like
Yeah.
a video pops up, and it was a video that he made like 2015 was my best year or something. And it was him, he was like sitting at his desk typing, and then he went through all this stuff from his vlogs that year of like all these things that he did. He was like at the Oscars, and like beforehand he was getting dressed with Justin Bieber, like before the Oscars, and he was like with all these people and he was doing all this crazy stuff, and I was like, how in the world did he do all this? And he was like, I did like a daily vlog where you can see everything I did every single day this year. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. So then I went back and I started at 1 because I wanted to see how he got to that point.
Dude, I remember I was watching like Christian Guzman a lot, and you were
Yeah.
like, dude, I found this YouTuber, Casey Neistat, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like watching Christian Guzman because I thought it was so cool that he made his own clothes. Like, I thought it was really cool that he's sustaining his life just by like working on filming it. And you're like, no, check out this guy. And then I remember like every single day after school, we would go home and I would like run on the treadmill or like bike and watch Casey Neistat like from 0 to like 200, and you would like
Yeah.
beat me. You're like, oh, I was on a trip, and on the way, like I watched like 20 vlogs. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm behind by like 10.
We would watch like 10 in a row, and we had 2 free periods because it was our senior year.
Yes.
So we had free periods at school where we just didn't have class for 40-minute blocks, 2 40-minute blocks, and I would sit there and watch all of them in order like as quickly as I could, trying to get, because I was trying to catch up because he was still doing daily at that point, and so he was uploading, and I wanted to like catch up so I could like keep up with what he was doing. So I was watching like 10 or 15 a day.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
I would crank them.
Yeah.
I remember when I finally caught up, like that feeling I got. I was like, I looked back and I was like, how many hours have I spent watching him?
So
to get
many
to this
hours.
point?
That's what I hope eventually, like, there's a helicopter passing us right now.
It's probably not that loud in the
You won't
mic.
be able to hear it?
Yeah. No.
Okay. That's what I hope eventually, like, with YouTube and, like, years and years and years, is that it gets to a place where, like, we're doing something really cool, or, like, we've like, figured it out, or, like, we quote-unquote made it, or whatever, even though that's not, I don't really think that that's a thing. But, like, having all that documentation back to 2015, like, before I even knew, like, I wanted to make videos forever. Like,
I think-
having that over time as, like, a story arc itself, I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, because like I feel like one of the biggest things, like especially in society with social media, is when someone like blows up for like some reason. They put out a song and makes them blow up. They're like, oh, this is like the coolest thing ever. Or like you put out a video and they blow up. And you're like, they're probably just like an overnight like one-hit wonder. And then it's like, well, we have this huge archive and database of everything that we've been documenting up to this point. So you can see the greatest thing that like we've done, but you can dive all the way back in to see the journey of how
Mhm.
we got there. I think
Yeah.
that's like really cool about like documenting your life.
And the journey is usually more interesting than like getting there.
Yeah.
You just want to see like how it happened.
Right. I think there's something about like when you've like get really attached to like a YouTuber or like a journey on YouTube that it's like super satisfying, like seeing how they got there. But like when you catch up, like there's like a sign of like, okay, it's like relief, like now you're with the present. But I just love like the process.
Yeah.
And there's like something when I like catch up 100%, I'm like, I don't even want to wait for another video. Like I'm so used to like cranking 30 a day.
Yeah.
It's so weird that like I have to wait now.
Yeah.
I have that feeling to this day about Casey because he doesn't upload as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like even when he stopped, like when he announced that he wasn't doing daily anymore that first time, like I had this feeling of like I was missing something that was a part of my routine because every day I would go like whenever I had that free 15 minutes to sit down and look at YouTube, I was watching Casey.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I'm not doing daily anymore. And it was this feeling of like, I don't know, like that something about my routine was like absent. I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think people get so attached to stuff like that because, like, a life is a story. Like, each of our lives are like a book, and we all have chapters in our lives and stuff. And so with a YouTuber or, like, a TV show or a movie, like, it's a story, like, in visual form, or, like, a book or anything like that is, like, a story. And so it's, like, almost the easiest thing for us to understand because our life is, like, a story. And so, like, seeing it in a compact form like that is very natural for us.
Yeah.
And then, like, when on top of that, when, like, it offers you something, like a perspective that you didn't have before, or, like, a theme, or, like, something you didn't know, like, some sort of information on top of that, it's easy to understand, and you get something new from it. It's, like, the best of both worlds, kind of.
Yeah. And I think it's really, like, interesting that you build, like, this attachment, this relationship with someone, even though it's, like, very one-sided in your mind, it's kind of like a two-way street. Like, in your mind you think it is. Because, like, if we were to see Casey, you've spent so much time.
I feel like I know the guy.
Right.
Like,
so
personally.
much time invested in this one person that, like, when you see him, you're like, oh, I already know literally your whole entire life for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's like he doesn't know you at all.
Right.
It's such a weird thing.
Mhm.
And it's, like, such a weird time that you can document and, like, communicate with people like that now.
Yeah.
Because, like, back in the day, like, even, like, in Roman times, like, in Latin, you could just, like, spread it to so many people, and they'd be like, oh, these are really cool journeys, these are really cool adventures, and you would know about them. But, like, to the scale that it is now, where it's so easy, you don't have to, like, write it all out. Like, you're not, like, writing it and copying it over and over again. It's like, all right, we're going to record it, and then we're posting it.
Yeah.
And it just spreads.
Mm-hmm.
And people get so attached to that.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It's cool. What do you guys think? You guys were a little bit quiet during that section.
I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for a new topic though.
Oh, why?
I'm just like ready for a new one.
You don't like that one?
No, I do, but we've like circled around it like a bunch now. So like, I'm just ready for a new one.
Sorry. Lainey?
No, I'm like, you can't get mad at me for saying that.
Okay.
I remember you guys talking about Casey, and I went and checked him out, and I was like, he wears sunglasses all the time. I like it.
I did like that about him too. I was like, why does this guy always wear sunglasses, even when it rains, even when he's inside? Love
His
that guy.
relationship, though, is so interesting.
With his wife?
Yes.
I agree.
Get them at all.
Why?
They like, I don't get them.
It's very interesting.
Their podcast is kind of, like, makes it seem like they don't even like each
Have
other.
you ever listened
Yeah.
to their podcast, Steven?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, here we go again. I feel
I'm
like I know
exaggerating a
Candace.
little bit, but
Yeah. Well, I feel like I know Candace just from even the little, like, in the grand scheme of all of Casey's videos, like, the little bit she's been in them over the entire 3 or 4 years or whatever it's been. And I just feel like that's, like, just her as a person, you know? Like,
No,
she's
it
just
definitely is.
mean.
But it's still like, I don't get, it's confusing them being compatible. Because
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
her as a person, and him as a person is like a completely different person than that.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we know. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
but we don't know
him,
anything.
But we don't actually know him.
I agree.
So, like, maybe they're really compatible or something.
Yeah. But if you are a viewer right now and you don't know who Casey Neistat is, I highly recommend going out and checking out his channel. Or if you have someone that you like are already attached to YouTube, I think that's like really, really cool too.
Mhm.
That you just like get attached to like those type of people. I think it's really interesting. How about Coco?
Wait. Yeah, let's talk about Coco.
Dude. Coco?
That's sick.
Yeah. So Corey Goff. Sorry.
Yep.
Coco is her nickname. If you don't know her, then that's just weird. But if you don't know her, she is a 15-year-old tennis player from Atlanta, lives in Florida.
I
And
didn't know she was from Atlanta.
yeah, she's from the
Yeah,
A-Town.
everyone great from Atlanta.
She from A?
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah.
And she is currently in the. She just got in the Sweet 16, or she's now in the quarter.
I think that she's in the Sweet 16, but I definitely could be wrong.
Yeah, we definitely could be wrong, but she beat Venus Williams, like her all-time idol, in the first rounds, which she had to do 3 qualifying rounds before that, and to even get a shot in Wimbledon, and beat her, and has won the next match as well.
Mhm.
And she's 15 years old, playing on this huge stage. Pretty much all of USA, in my mind, is cheering for her and rooting for her. I would really, 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 really love to see her play Serena, just because, like, these are both of her idols, and I think, like, when you are going against your idol in some form or fashion, like where your passion is, that's just an insane.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is just an insane, like, time in your life.
Yeah.
She won't end up getting to play Serena, though, will she? Because they're on the same side of the bracket.
No, I think they're on different sides.
Really?
Let me check. I'm like very.
Well, even if they're on the same side, if they both win, they'll eventually have to play.
but I
each
want
other.
them to play in the.
Oh, the
yeah,
final.
Yeah,
For the chips?
yeah.
Dang.
I want
that.
that.
Would be crazy.
I want that. But let me check.
That would be legendary.
That would be crazy, but I kind of don't want them to play because I don't want either of them to lose.
No. Serena's had her time.
I know, but just because she's had her time doesn't mean she can't keep having it. Like, I want Coco to win, but also, like, just because Serena's already won, like, everyone's over it? No, she's, like, still such a boss. Like, I want her to win still.
She is a boss.
She had a kid and then came back and still won again.
Yeah, like, this is, like, a whole new time.
It's like the Beyonce of tennis.
Yeah.
Beyonce's mom hit up Coco.
Yeah, she said that today in an interview.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
That's crazy.
That's a cool story to root for.
What does it say, Max?
I'm currently looking. Okay, they're on different sides.
Oh, they are?
Yes, they are. So they could definitely play in the finals.
GGs.
Dude,
Really?
mean, that would be crazy.
When's her next match?
Monday,
Who's she play? Do we know?
the 7th.
Simone.
Yeah,
her name?
I think she's ranked 7. But
Okay.
the announcers were saying, I could definitely be wrong in this, but in the world she was ranked 1 for the past 2 years.
Whoa.
That's what the announcer said. I don't
Yeah,
really.
yeah. I think you're right.
Okay, I'm very ignorant when it comes to tennis. Like, very ignorant, and like
Me too.
just seeing like, I don't know. There's something about Coco Golf. I'm just saying it wrong. Golf. That you just become attached to her. Like the underdog. She has like such a good fight like in the game too.
I don't think
Yeah.
she was ever an underdog. She was just unexpected.
Well, I mean, I would
But
definitely
she's just
consider.
playing- She's just playing like ranked people, like
Women.
seeds higher than
Grown
her.
women that have been in the game forever.
Yeah.
And she's 15.
I would definitely put her the underdog against Serena.
I would say like rookie instead of underdog. Don't you think? Like I don't think anyone ever was like she'll lose every match.
Well, it
No,
doesn't
the
matter
underdog's
about.
just the one who's expected to lose because they are like ranked less.
She's
I
15.
guess.
Like if it's 1 and 2, the 2 seed's the underdog.
Right. And the other one is favored. But I just think that's crazy that she's like on the stage of just like the passion of like her time, and I just thought it was so cool when she was sitting there like talking about like on the post game like interview. She's like I dreamed in my mind to only like not only meet Venus but to even play against her, and then to win doesn't seem real. And then like I never thought I would actually play at Wimbledon, but I dreamt of it, and now I'm here and I'm on the center stage of the whole entire world.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that's so cool when, like, someone has a passion, especially at the age of, like, 15, to be at the highest level. It's just so cool to see.
Yeah,
It's, like,
very
very inspiring.
Yeah.
And also in sports news, the tour starts tomorrow.
No.
Really?
No.
7th of July.
That's
Dude.
going to be an all-day event.
All right. That is
The
the only
what?
time we'll actually turn on our TV.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
We were there for that, remember?
Yeah.
We're big Tour de France guys.
Yeah. There's something about the Tour de France that I love.
How about,
Yeah.
Lainey, you and Jack saw the final stage live at the Arc de Triomphe.
It was like,
Did you
Wild.
you weren't at the Arc. Did you see it though?
yeah, I was at the Arc.
You were at the Arc with
I
me?
want to say I was.
I thought that y'all walked like somewhere else, but you were still on Champs Élysées. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
right.
All I know is I definitely saw it.
Yeah,
Don't really
I
remember.
feel like
Yeah, maybe I wasn't at the.
I just feel like I was alone around the arc
Because you were filming.
I waited for like 2 hours.
Yeah. You're right.
And you guys went to Louis Vuitton, didn't you? That really big one on that
Yes.
street.
Yeah, we got champagne there.
No
Did you?
way.
Yeah, it was really cool.
At the LV store.
Cause Mom bought a bag, and they were like, "Well, let's celebrate." And like when they bring out like the wrapped bag, they like bring out a like tray with like champagne on
is
it.
You
So
buy something, you
Fun.
get
Are you
champagne.
gonna buy me a bag tomorrow if we go?
Oh,
And then we get champagne.
man, I don't have the money for that.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
But the seeing it in person is really cool, and especially like at the Arc de Triomphe, and they're like
It's crazy.
when they zoom around there, they're going like 35 or 40, and they're just cranking.
Yeah, that's mostly a sprint stage.
Mm-hmm.
So like that day's always super super eventful.
And everyone's so hyped that's there.
Dude, it is like a crazy thing in all of Europe.
Yeah,
It's just like so crazy.
it was so fun, and you could watch them. Like they had a big TV set up
Yeah.
near the Arc, and so
That's
like
hype.
you could. Everyone was just watching the TV because we were just all sitting around waiting for them to come, and people would be cheering, like watching the TV, and then they come in front of you. So you're like watching it live on TV, like they're really far away, and then you can slowly hear it getting louder and louder and louder, and then they just come right in front of you.
That's
It
so
was the
crazy.
craziest thing.
How many laps do they do around the
I think 8
arc?
or like 6 or 8 or something.
I don't
A
know
lot.
that.
They go back and forth down that Champ de Elysée. I don't know how to say it. Sorry.
Can we get him off the
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah.
But they
Turn
go
his mic off.
down that to the Louvre and back like 8 times or something.
That's sick.
That's so much. But
Mhm.
I'm also remembering this. We got really cute gelato before that too, like this big.
I was there for that. That was
Yeah,
cool.
That was really good. It was
We
cute.
should we need to go to Paris.
All right,
Paris is hype.
take me there.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh, so you can take him to Paris, but you can't buy me a purse?
Well,
That makes no sense.
I think going to Paris is less expensive than a Louis bag.
I don't know about that.
I definitely
Backpacking?
do. It's cheaper to go to Australia.
Plane ticket?
A Louis bag is thick.
The Louis bag be like 20K.
No,
yeah.
it depends on the bag. You could get one for like $1,200.
She wants the
Okay.
pencil case.
Are we
How
doing-
about the fireworks
That was so.
Oh, that
Cool.
was really cool.
and the frogs?
Yes.
There are a couple of frogs here that live by this house, and they, as soon as the sun goes down, they crank out some croaks.
Those are
I'm surprised they're not
bullfrogs. They're
going
loud.
off right now.
Mhm. They're talking to each other.
They're right next to each other. It's
real
like me
loud.
on the
Yeah.
phone.
But it was 4th of July, what, 2 days ago now?
Yeah.
And so we can kind of see like the backside of Los Angeles, where you can see like Studio City and NBC, and isn't that NBC or Universal? Mallory, what is that right over there? Past the Comcast building.
Universal Studios, the like amusement park and the studio.
Okay, so it's Universal.
Not NBC. They don't have an amusement park.
Sorry, I didn't know which one it was. But you can kind of see right around the corner is Universal, and we were looking out at all the fireworks, and you could just see like little fireworks shows scattered all across the city. It was
So
really cool.
Just the lights alone. I kept saying this because it was actually so true. I couldn't even get used to the view because I was like, I've never seen these many lights with like these many people at all the like their houses
Yeah.
like this, and then there was fireworks going every single second. I
Mhm.
was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Closest I've got to that type of view, I feel like is like an airplane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
an airplane window.
Yeah, like about to land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
At night or something, like in a
usually
city.
if you're like at a house on the mountains or something, there's just woods around you.
yeah,
You're not like overlooking a whole city.
it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, so this week on Rest Time Recommendations, Jack and I are going to do a TV show,
Uh-oh.
not a movie.
Okay.
TV show. And the TV show is Chernobyl.
Seinfeld. Oh.
Oh, Jack. Definitely
Chernobyl.
not Seinfeld.
Dang, we're going straight into it.
Yeah.
All right. So Steven and I just started watching Chernobyl
Just
What?
finished it.
like a week ago.
Yeah, it's
There's only-
it's an HBO miniseries, so
So there's only 5 episodes. But it is about the disasters at the Chernobyl nuclear plant in 86, correct?
Yeah.
April of 86.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a documentary. It's like a series where they have actors and sets, and they sort of like recreate the whole thing and how it went down. And it was very interesting story-wise, but it was also very interesting visually.
Yeah. I'll give you the specs, of course. IMDb gave it a 9.6.
No. Holy
Yeah.
macaroni.
That's one of the. I don't know if the.
I don't know anything higher.
Well,
Wait,
I
think
don't. What I was about to say is I don't know if the grades vary between like movies and shows, but I've never seen anything much higher than a 9.6 ever on IMDb for anything.
No, I think
I
the
think there's
highest
one more.
movie is like 9.2. The
Shawshank.
Godfather.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Shawshank and Godfather are tied actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So IMDb gave it a 9.6. Okay, for the cinematography and the director, I think that they do it like most series where they like have they have different directors and different cinematographers for each episode, or like not each, but they switch off.
You could not really tell though.
Yeah, you
Some
definitely can
shows
tell.
you can tell, like that one, the Versace show. That was very obvious. But you could not tell with this one. They kept like a very clean flow.
So I wrote down that when I looked it up on IMDb under the cast or under the crew, it had that the DP was Jacob Ahir. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And the director is Johan Rennick. I'm not sure if they did every episode or they switched or whatever, but that's just what it said on IMDb. But
It only had one cinematographer listed.
That's just what it said. Yeah.
I feel like it's just one the whole time.
Really?
Don't you think it was very consistent?
Yeah. I mean,
It was-
I definitely couldn't see any kind of
If it
switch.
was two different cinematographers, they had really similar styles.
Yeah. But I wrote down the creator because I guess I don't know how like what he did overall as far as like writing or anything, but the creator is Craig Mazin or Mazin. Yeah, so it was just extremely well done. It's like saddening to watch the entire thing. It's just like Jack said one time after we finished one of the episodes, he was like, it makes me scared to breathe. It feels like our air is dirty.
Yeah.
Like our air could potentially be dirty.
Yeah.
And it's just like a saddening thing to see what all transpired from the time that it happened until it like got resolved. And there's still like issues. I mean, it's like got that safe haven over it now or whatever, but it's only scheduled to last up to 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like there still could be problems. Like when it first happened, they were projecting troubles with the radiation poisoning for like thousands of years.
It's bad.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Mhm.
So Chernobyl is #1 on IMDb with Planet Earth 2.
Really?
9.5
Dude,
TV
both
show.
of those are bangers.
That's crazy, dude. Breaking Bad, I thought that was also up
Uh-huh.
there. It's 9.4.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Chernobyl was good. It was very, very well done. Kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Great storytelling.
I think if I could watch the documentary first, I would watch the show.
Okay. I don't know if there is a documentary.
Dang.
There's the Chernobyl Diaries, but I think that's another show.
Gotcha.
I like to watch the documentary.
This was extremely well done. I don't know.
I loved it.
You might be interested in it.
Definitely go check out Chernobyl on HBO. It's worth the watch.
Okay, so do you want to go, Mallory?
You can go.
Okay. So for my rest time recommendations this week, I'm going to do 2 books. One I just literally started, but one I just finished. So I think I talked about it in the last one, actually. But I read The Richest Man of Babylon, and it was very, very, very good. I liked it a lot. It gave, like, very simple, really cool tales of basic finances. And just like foundations of just investing in money and just like kind of a cool perspective, I think. So definitely read that. It's pretty short, so it's a quick read. But I just started The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, which Danny Duncan kind of like suggested in his Audible ad. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. And like the first like 10 pages I absolutely love. This is just kind of cool. This is a quote from it. Small plans at best yield small results, and big plans at worst beat small plans.
Okay.
So if you only plan small, you'll only get a small result. But if you plan really big, you're going to do better than your small plan in the first place. So might as well go big. I just really like that quote. Saw it immediately. So hopefully I can give an update on that later. It's like more of a textbook. It's 1,000 pages long, so might take me a little bit longer. So yeah, but I really like it so far. So we'll see. I want to see if I would like real estate.
Okay, this week I'm recommending a brand. It's a little more higher end, but they're so, so, so cool. And they're underrated. Like, not that many people give them enough attention, I don't think. But the brand's called Eckhos Lada, I believe is how it's pronounced. But it's spelled ECKHAUS and then new word LATTA. But they literally have the coolest clothes I've ever seen. The way they play with silhouettes is unlike any other brand right now. They're just really cool. So check them out. And even if you can't buy anything, like I can't buy anything right now, but I still give them a follow and like be inspired by them because they're amazing.
Lainey, our guest recommendation
The movie
or whatever you want.
View from a Blue Moon.
Let's go.
She wanted us to recommend that one.
Yeah.
It's the surfer John Florence. His documentary, I guess. With, do you remember who it was with?
Like another surfer?
No, like who made it?
Who made it?
Yeah.
It's with Brain Farm did it, so
Yeah.
Kurt Morgan and all them shot it.
Yeah, well, it's really good in my mind. I like it.
It's
It
awesome.
is very good.
Go watch the trailer. You can watch like the 5-7 minute trailer or whatever on YouTube.
It's not a long movie.
Yeah.
It's not really like a movie like you're thinking. It's just
It's like a
bunch of
short
clips.
action adventure film, I guess you could
Yeah.
call it.
It's really cool.
and he's just mind-blowing amazing at surfing.
Yeah.
Lainey's a huge
That
John
and
fan.
the Hurley series. That one was really good too.
Yeah, the
12.
Hurley series on
It's
like
on YouTube.
amazing too. It's just really cool. Too
7
bad he just
episodes.
dislocated or ruptured his ACL again, but
Yeah.
Frick, that sucks.
yeah.
Dang.
He made the movie before that though. It's okay.
Movie is really good.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we got for today. We want to thank Lainey for coming out.
Yes.
She did an amazing job. We wish we could have you on every podcast and just
Facts.
kick Bryant out.
Yeah.
The kid sucks.
Yeah.
Me too.
Brian smells bad.
Wait, I
That's
miss
true.
Brian.
I miss Bryant, but
He still smells
He'll
bad.
be back in
True.
4 or 5 days. Thanks, guys.
Have
Go
a great
check out
day.
Chernobyl and all the recommendations.
be nice to someone.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you too.